Hi everyone. I trust that you are safe and following the government's directives. I know that within our church there are a number of people who are working in essential services and some in healthcare. Thank you for your work. We are praying for you. Well, listening to the news the other day, I noticed that some churches, particularly in the US, are continuing to hold services and are refusing to follow the government's directives. They cite faith as the reason for congregating, and they claim to believe that the virus will not affect them. That's interesting, maybe puzzling and even confusing for some people, and frankly for me, it is disturbing. It causes people to think that Christians believe they're above the law and can exercise civil disobedience at times like these. We should have faith. We should have great faith. But is this extreme really the faith that God is looking for? There are two extremes when we talk about faith, and frankly, I'm not sure that either extreme can be called faith. There's one extreme that says we run, we hide in fear, and we're overwhelmed with worry. That's not faith. But then there's the other extreme that says God will protect me and I can ignore all of the safeties and protocols. Is that faith, or does it fall into the category of tempting or testing God? When the devil tempted Jesus, he took him to the top of the temple. If you're the Son of God, he said, throw yourself down. For it is written, he will command his angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. And Jesus answered him and said, it is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test. We need to have a balance between the two extremes. In this life, in this world, we don't have all the answers. Paul says we see dimly, just a poor reflection. We lack knowledge. We don't have a perfect understanding. And so how should we behave? I would suggest that we look at Jesus. He put things in God's hands. That's trust. That's faith. Even when we don't like the prospects of what might happen. In Gethsemane, Jesus prayed, not my will, but yours. If we can accept that we do not know all the answers, and frankly, there are times that we don't even know the right questions, then we can have a balanced faith. That faith is trust, not worry. But trust is not foolishness. A friend sent me a quote from Martin Luther. It's a letter that Martin Luther wrote to Jonathan Hess during the bubonic plague in Europe in the 1500s. Christians at that time were wondering what to do, how they should respond. Should they flee the cities where the plague was the worst? And so Luther answers, and he says to them, you wish to know whether it is proper for Christians to run away from the deadly plague. And then he continues in this lengthy letter to address the many opinions of the time, the idea of faith, even people who were saying the plague was actually God's punishment. He concludes that each person should decide for themselves what to do. And then he said what he would do. Let me paraphrase this. I shall ask God mercifully to protect us. I will disinfect and sanitize. I will give medicine and take it if needed. I shall avoid places and persons where my presence is not needed in order not to become contaminated and thus perchance infect and pollute others, and so cause their death as a result of my negligence. If God should wish to take me, he will surely find me, and I have done what he has expected of me. So I am not responsible for either my own death or the death of others. If my neighbor needs me, however, I shall not avoid place or person, but will go freely. And then he adds this. See, this is such God-fearing faith because it is neither brash nor foolhardy, and does not tempt God. I think those are good words that we should follow. Yes, we should continually ask God to be merciful and protect us, but we should follow the other directives these days as well.